Hey guys, it's Rosie or Topic Bricks here with another video. So in today's video, we're going to be doing something quite a bit different, but still Harry Potter themed. We are going to be ranking the Harry Potter films from worst to best. I think most of my audience has watched the films probably about 1,000 times, so I'm confident we all have our opinions on where they rank. So you may disagree with my list, and that's okay. I'd love to hear yours in the comment section below, so without further ado, let's head on into this video. So the worst Harry Potter film in my opinion is The Half-Blood Prince. I think this film is a very poor adaptation from a fantastic book. They chose to focus on all the wrong things, such as the romance side of the story, but in the book that aspect merely complemented the story, where in the film it was a dominating factor alongside its corny and awkward comedy. This is somewhat more unforgivable here than in most movies because this book wasn't a comedy at all. It was by far the darkest book in the series, which focused on Draco's mission to kill Dumbledore, Snape's apparent turn to the dark side, and also Tom Riddle's memories. And just to add to this, Harry and Ginny in this film are so unbelievably awkward. Ugh, I can't watch.
Shoelace.
Next up, we have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Now I think if you haven't read the book, this seems from the outset a pretty good movie and it's not bad, but for me, they leave out an unforgivable amount of information from the book. In the Goblet of Fire book, there are 7 key mysteries to solve, those being, who put Harry's name in the Goblet of Fire? Who cast a dark mark? Was Barty Crouch Jr. guilty? What happened to Bertha Jorkins? Who were Fred and George blackmailing? How did Rita Skeeter get her stories? And who murdered the Riddles? And in the film, the director binned off every single one of these bar the first one, that being who put Harry's name in the Goblet of Fire. We also miss out on a Quidditch World Cup too, which is one of the best chapters in the book. And I understand that when you're adapting a long book to a film, you have to cut some of it out, but I don't think they're very smart when it comes to time management. For example, the start of the film kicks off with Harry's dream. Then he wakes up at the Burrow, which is followed by 5 to 10 minutes of the Weasleys travelling to the World Cup, which is just a lot of wasted screen time. And because of this, the World Cup match is cut, and we skip to them celebrating after the game, then they fall asleep again. If I was the director of this film, I think what I would have done is started the film with the start of the Quidditch World Cup. The first 5 minutes of the film would be the match, then once the match is over, they leave the ground and they all meet Cedric and Amos Diggory outside the stadium, and that's how you'd get introduced to them. Then when Harry falls asleep that night after the match, then that's when he has his dream. Then when the dream ends, he gets woken up just like how he was at the Burrow, but this time it's not Hermione waking him up, it's the sound of screaming and shouting due to the Death Eater's attacks. And that's just how I'd change the start. I could do a whole in-depth video on what I would change about this film, but we'll save that for another day. The next film on this list is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, so I think this film is good, but it's definitely one of the weaker ones. I think this is due to how slow it is compared to some of the others. In this part they spend the vast majority of it camping around the country and not really achieving much. They only ever kill one Horcrux here, and you can tell it's a part 1 of a film, so it's hardly a thrilling tale or one to go and write home about. What I did love about this film though is the Ministry of Magic fight segment, and also the animation for the tales of Beedle the Bard. Next up we have the Philosopher's Stone, or the Sorcerer's Stone if you're in America. So this was the first film in the series, and this movie introduced us all to the characters we know and love in visual form, particularly characters like Hagrid, McGonagall, Ron, Harry and Hermione. They all became the characters we eventually fell in love with, and even the visuals such as Diagon Alley, Hogwarts Castle and Quidditch. This film set up so much in the world of Harry Potter, and this makes it the most important film in the series. As if this was any different, so would all the others. And we can't forget as well that this film signifies the start of the best cast actor of all time. Don't forget guys to subscribe if you want to see me do a follow-up video to this ranking all the books worst to best. Now let's get on to our next film in this list. So next we have the Chamber of Secrets. Now I put the Chamber of Secrets 1 up on the Philosopher's Stone because I think the Chamber of Secrets takes what the Philosopher's Stone built and built upon and expands on that world. We get to see new places like the Burrow, and we get additional new characters and great actors such as Gilderoy Lockhart, who is just in a class of his own. But the main improvement here is that we get a far more in-depth plot than the Philosopher's Stone. Here we have the mystery of someone wanting to stop Harry getting to school. Who's plotting terrible things at Hogwarts? Does the Chamber of Secrets exist? Who's Tom Riddle? What's the deal with this empty diary? Did Hagrid or Malfoy open the Chamber of Secrets? If not, who did? Who wrote the writing on the wall? What is the monster? Why can Harry speak to snakes? Why can Harry hear an anonymous voice that only he can hear? I'm probably missing some more, but you get the point. This film is definitely more intriguing and it's a lot more mysterious, darker and spookier than the Philosopher's Stone 2, and that's why the Chamber of Secrets makes this spot on the list. Coming up next we have Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is David Yates' first film, and ever since the Order of the Phoenix he has directed every single Harry Potter film, including the Fantastic Beasts series. The Order of the Phoenix is the only Harry Potter film which I could say in confidence it beats out the book. I prefer how Sirius was depicted in the movie, and I feel like everything was better paced here in the film compared to the book, which was the longest in the series, and everything from Luna to the beautiful sets, the spectacular music and the legendary fight scene at the end really makes this a film to remember. For the second best film in the series we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So this film is a cinematic masterpiece in my opinion. I actually studied this film in college for creative media due to how well it was shot. The director of this film was Alfonso Cuarón, and unfortunately this was the only film which he directed. This film is really one that can stand alone. If you watched any of the other movies apart from the Philosopher's Stone, then you will be lost in what's going on, but this one, there is a real cinematic difference between this film and the first two. It's a much darker filter over the camera, and it's by far the darkest film in the series up to that point. This film is great though due to the creative shots, especially the iconic 1 minute 49 second shot in the leaky cauldron. That's not to mention all the times they zoomed into mirrors to transition into the next shot. I do wish however that they covered more of the Marauders' backstory and portrayed Dumbledore more in character, as it does have a couple of odd moments to say the least, but overall this is easily one of the strongest films in the series. Now for what I think is the best film in the Harry Potter series, we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. This film in my opinion is an almost perfect ending to the Harry Potter series. The visuals for the film are simply outstanding, and there are so many bone-chilling moments, such as the Battle of Hogwarts. This film ends up being a really satisfying watch as it wraps up the story that we've invested in now for years. We see Harry destroy Voldemort, Neville become a true hero, and we finally understand Snape's character thanks to a beautifully directed backstory sequence, and this is why I think this movie is the best of them all. Also guys, click the video on screen now to be taken to a video I made going over the most expensive LEGO Harry Potter sets of all time. I'll see you there. So thank you for watching this video. I'd love to hear how you guys would rank the Harry Potter films from worst to best, so feel free to leave them in the comment section below. But if you enjoyed this video then make sure to subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. I've been Rose, your Topic Bricks. I'll catch you next time.